Like, do we push him to the back or what? Because I don't want his hype to die down.
Now you're telling us the next week that they're scum of the earth, and we need you to think.
Everybody gets a moment. Everybody gets their little shine. Everybody. Dirt Sheet Radio Nation, welcome back. Happy New Year. I'm your boy Sam Shooter, straight shooter, along with CJ Carter. Happy New Year's, bud.
Happy New Year, sir.
All right, and we can't forget welcoming Brittany B-Ray's back. What's going on? You still got your Christmas tree?
Ignore that. Happy New Year, everybody.
Let's spark it up. Put the lights on.
I actually really should because it's still plugged up. Actually, hold on. I'll do that. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, man. Listen, they're ended off with a little chaos there for Friday Night Smackdown. We're just going to get right into it. It was, there it is. That looks good. That looks better. That looks better.
Looks great.
Yep. All right. So the main event, it was supposed to be a 3-on-3, but he who shall remain nameless and faceless didn't show up today. So they're like, hey, you need to find another one. The wise man was all over the place looking for somebody. But the way it ended off, I mean, what are your thoughts, CJ Carter?
Well, I mean, the way the match went, which I thought was fantastic, it's a shame they're set to feud because given the right circumstances, I do think that AJ Styles and LA Knight would work well as a tag team together. It seemed stupid for Styles to refuse a tag tonight. I mean, especially after they were working well together throughout the match. And then he does accept a tag to Orton, which, okay, yeah, he came back from being injured or hurt by the pre-match attack, so props to him. Big pop, woohoo. But that was a weird sequence. I didn't really care for it. But the match itself was great. I loved seeing every one of the guys get their chance to shine. But
Right.
yeah, it was just that one spot really kind of took me out of the match.
Now, as we were talking in the beginning, I just love how they left Orton over there to get his ass whooped in the beginning. And we were joking before you jumped in, Brittany. Like, nobody's hanging around in Gorilla like the days of before. So they all got their own individual trailer. So they're running from all the way from the other side of the arena to save somebody, hit the music. So that's why Orton got beat up. But I knew he was going to come back. And how they ended tonight.
It was a nice little angle to do it like
Roman Reigns. And don't forget, guys, hey, keep your questions coming in. That's for the viewers. Keep your questions coming in your comments. And we're going to pick out, all three of us, we're going to pick out the best comment or question for a free pop giveaway. Then you message DSR your address and we'll ship that out to you. Don't worry about that. I just want to throw that in there. What do you think about the main event? Brittany?
I knew, of course, Smackdown should be changed to shenanigans now because it's always going to be something as far as the match. But for what they gave us, I thought it was pretty good. I do agree with CJ. It was that one little spot where I didn't really care for. But other than that, it's still telling the perfect story of us getting to Florida in 2 weeks. I had no problem with it.
Now, I thought when Nick Aldis was going to say the bloodline is banned from ringside, that's what I was going to go for. And I was like, oh, come on. And then I thought out of nowhere, we were going to get a lost member of the tribe pulled out from the indies.
That's what I was thinking.
Out of nowhere. Like, can it be Jacob Fatu? Can it be one of the other long list of Anoa'i family and everybody else that's in that official non-K5 bloodline? I was just hoping for something, but then nothing. One day.
Heading into WrestleMania feels like a weird time to bring talent in because then, am I going to be on the card or is the company going to save themselves a WrestleMania paycheck and bring them in afterward kind of thing? Which I wouldn't mind seeing the bloodline story grow for the right reasons. Like Jay managed to break away and make a great solid run for himself so far, but we'll see what happens with the rest of the bloodline. If it's a way to bring in talent into the company, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be premature if it happened, but just the way it was setting up, who else could it be? I don't know. I mean, nobody was gonna take an offer.
And then, of course, keep in mind, it's beef with the bloodline all across SmackDown and Raw, so nobody trying to do nothing to help them. No, not at all. Like, y'all expect us to help this team that literally bullied all of us and gave us a couple of beat downs? Nah, we good. Y'all got it.
Right. I would probably would like to see somebody step up. Maybe one of the younger people. I don't know. It could have been anybody. There's a whole talent filled roster back there just waiting for a shot. And they could have squeezed in, anybody, throw a dart to the board and, anybody could be a plug-in player. So, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking for too much. Maybe we just asking for too much. Maybe we didn't get enough for Christmas. We didn't get what Santa wanted us. What we wanted from Santa. Um, but I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was just like a. There was no no pieces were moved forward, right? In the bloodline story, everything was just you know. The only thing that kind of little fiction was between AJ and LA Knight. And like you said, you know, there shouldn't really be a problem, but excuse me, mixing LA and AJ. AJ is, you know, Mr. got a chip on his shoulder. So we'll
You know,
see.
the funny thing about mixing up AJ and LA is the one that you just did, you got
Yeah.
LJ, the other one ends up being AA.
LJ Styles Knight. Yeah.
And the the what would that team be named, do you think?
Uh I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
All right, fair enough.
Well,
I had to think about that one.
right. We could double back to that one.
Yeah,
We could double back to that.
LAJ.
Yeah.
LAJ, I like that one.
LAJ. LAJ. Or it could be LA Styles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like that one.
LA Styles. Yeah, they like mixing up the names. All right. Well, usually how the beginning is how the end. It leads into the beginning and everything. Your thoughts on Angel and Humberto versus LWO, CJ Carter on
You
that
know,
first match?
I liked their presentation better in NXT. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
this character change just doesn't work as well for me as it did seeing them in NXT. And I don't know if it was just more because I was relieved to see the Los Lotharios gimmick dead. But I mean, they were paying tribute to their grandfather. They were, um, they had that dedicated gimmick, which one of my thoughts for tonight was it was a weird choice for them to drop Hector Garza's name, like by name on commentary, but not actually letting Angel keep his last name. Like it was a weird, uh, it feels weird to me.
Well,
I'm glad to see,
name changes. You know how the E loves to change the names. I'm
yeah.
surprised they let AOP come back as AOP, but
Right.
that's for later. That's for later. What I mean, come on now. I like both of those guys, but now they're just lackeys. Brittany, what do you think about Angel and Humberto? They're dropping the last names, and they work together. They got the great chemistry, but now they're just lackeys. What do you think about that? They're Santos lapdogs.
You know what? At the end of the day, we always had this conversation about wrestlers and where they fit as far as the totem pole. And some of them do better when they're with a faction over there with somebody. So I think for them in their case, it works. Sending them back to NXT just to go through there for a little bit, they come back. I didn't mind it. I like it. I like the edge that they have. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a problem with the Los Lotharios, but I like them now. Hardcore, edge, no smiling, none of that. I'm cool with it. It works for me.
Oh yeah, like this definitely is better than what they had before their NXT re-debut, but I don't know, it felt more honest, their presentation in NXT compared to now. Like it's not bad. We'll definitely see how it plays out, but I have a favorite,
Yeah,
and it's the other one.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think they could probably pull it around if if they go a little bit more edgier, more dark, But we'll see what happens. I like Carlito came out and started kicking ass. So Carlito's back. He's kicking ass. For some reason, after that happened, I don't know what happened to the end of the match. Who won the match? CJ Carter,
It was the LWO. Or no, it was Legato, sorry.
the
Uh,
Legatos. Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
My
won.
mind just drew a blank. My mind just drew a blank right after that, and I was like just pumped up, like, oh, Carlitos is back. Oh, now
And that was
he's
gonna be my
fighting.
question. Why? Because that's by the time I did wake up, I did see Carlito backstage talking to Paul. So I was like, oh, did he show up in that match? Okay, cool. So yeah, it
Right,
worked. Yeah. But when I saw it, he still got forever beef with Santos, which is fine.
right. And that was Heyman and LWO backstage that you mentioned there. That led us into Bianca Belair and Bailey, and the story continues for that one. Um, I think it's dragging out a little bit too long. I want them to just pull the trigger already on this whole you know on the Bailey, and we all see it. The writing's on the wall. We all see it. Um,
I have a
tonight.
question about that.
Go ahead.
Do you think that they're dragging it on only because we don't know what's getting ready to happen with Mercedes?
That's a good
Because
question. I hadn't considered that before. I think that is a very strong possibility because if they want to entice her back, her winning the Royal Rumble would definitely be a great bargaining chip. But
Yeah.
I think if they do decide to go with Mercedes winning the Royal Rumble, Sasha Banks, whatever, I think I think there's still a way to make this split happen to still get you to WrestleMania, which obviously is the plan for Bailey and Io Sky. And I think there is a way to do that just without Bailey winning the Rumble.
yeah,
I don't think Bailey's gonna win the Rumble, based upon what happened tonight. She ain't winning the Rumble. That they're gonna, if anything, they're gonna cause her to lose, and then they're gonna turn around and they're gonna make it look like, oh, you messed up. It's your fault. Kind of like they did tonight. They're like, oh, we thought you were gonna be cool going at it alone. We thought you had it, and all the referee was looking at us, and they're all just standing there looking at Bianca Belair, and then nothing. Oh, Bailey gets no help. Bailey gets no love no more. So I'm like, oh, there it is. I thought it was gonna happen tonight. But it didn't.
shout out to Dakota because that little stint she did pull right there definitely made me think that she was probably gonna pull the trigger and leave Bailey standing there, and they all just dipped out on her. So yeah, good job with that acting because I was like, oh wait, we about to get this now before the Rumble. All right, but yeah, that was good.
Right.
Well, there is still time before the Rumble. We could see something happen as early as next week. Who knows? But I think if they do even decide to have Bailey win the Royal Rumble, I think that's what we'll see on the horizon for sure. But it's not going to happen before the Rumble. I don't think.
I'm gonna say right now, Bailey is not winning the Royal Rumble. We can make a gentleman's bet on that one.
You know what? I still got to figure out a way to get JBL's hat to eat for the last gentleman's bet I made. So we'll put a pin in that one for right now.
If I win, you'll have to let your hair grow out. He said,
"We're gonna have
well, well.
Let's talk later."
I'm just teasing. All right. Oh man, but you know what? What I wanted to say about this match, I put little notes on it. It started off high pace, high action, and I like those high pace, high action. And then it got a little breather there, but when they came back, that little move, when Bailey tied her hair to the ropes. And I like how they did a lot of hair moves, a lot of hair moves. Um, in this move. And then she got caught up for a little bit. And then she used her own hair as a little trip cord and then tripped up Bailey. And then she picked her up and then, man, nasty move to the back. So kudos to those ladies for that little segment right there where they tied up the hair, tripped up, and then they rolled to the outside, little exchanged outside, and then bam, right into through Bailey, right into and that was a nasty fall. Not as nasty as what happened later on that evening, but man, that was a pretty nasty fall for Bailey. What you guys think about that? I
thought it was a solid match overall. I love seeing that braid being used in a creative way. I think it is something that they haven't really done creatively as long as Bianca's been on the main roster, short of it being used as a weapon. But if this is something that we're going to see on a regular basis, it might wear its welcome out pretty quickly. But I think seeing it every once in a while is still a nice little gem.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah. Backstage, I kind of felt like Dakota's kind of taking more of a leadership position, right? More the in between the Asian part of the group, like the translator part, and the go between them. I don't know how well is she? Can she wrestle? Is she cleared to wrestle soon? But I think when all is said and done, once Bailey's kicked out, I think she's going to take it personal towards Dakota.
I think we're going to see a split of Dakota Kai from Damage Control as well, and I don't see the Damage Control name sticking around. I think they're going to let Dakota Kai either stand on her own or they're gonna find another stable for her somewhere, but I don't think she's going to wind up siding with Bailey in the long run. I think because Bailey is going to be paralleled for a good face run coming out of whenever Damage Control kicks her out. And I don't see Dakota Kai working well. She did work well as a face in NXT, but I think she works better as a heel. Mm-hmm. So I hopefully she finds a path on her own heading into 2024.
So wouldn't it be something nice if the moment comes they give Bailey the boot and Dakota and Io and Asuka and they're all there and and Dakota's like yeah you got to get out, and then they all turn to Dakota too, and you too, pound, and that's when they'll be like, well, the Kabuki Warriors are back, or whatever it was, or whatever they want to be called, leading forward. I'd like that to happen too. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I can see that definitely being a possibility for sure.
And then Bailey and Dakota could probably team up and try to get their little sweet revenge. We'll see. I don't know. That leads us into Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and I want them to do something. I want them to do something, and starting, they're about to do something with our friend, your friend, everybody's friend. We've all been waiting for Karrion Kross, and I'm giving this a legit opportunity. I'm liking where it's going. After last week, they did something. AOP's in charge now. This week, we have, I guess, they're calling themselves the Final Testament. But we have Judgment Day, we have Final Testament. You know, the next group, the Revelations, is coming out. I don't know why they couldn't think of nothing better than the Final Testament. But man, this got Triple H written all over it. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but
Well,
just like,
Cross is one of his guys.
not just because we know he's in charge and everything like that, but just like I could just tell like the way that the production for that video was, and the way Karrion Kross was talking, and it was like, yeah, like heavily coached. I think, I don't know what I know. I don't work there, but I just seen a little something different from weeks before. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. What do you guys think?
So I think for me, what sold me was the overall presentation.
It was good.
It was good. It was really, really good, especially how they all just stood there in the back, and then it was the picture they took when they were backstage. I said, okay, yeah, I like it. They look good together. They look really, really good. And Triple H, whoever they was able to pay Paul a significant amount of money to get him out his bed, and I didn't think he was going to show up, but there he is. I said, okay, I think I like it with Paul, but what did it was the name. You don't like the name for real, but I actually like the name. I said, okay, I like it. I'm now on that let's see where it go boat. I'm interested. They caught my attention tonight. It's definitely tonight for sure.
What I did like is that I want to mention, I got a little note here. The entrance for Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
Just the first like 20 seconds of when it's just the blue beam lights and the drums, dun, 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 like that. They should, but once it turned into just Bobby Lashley, I'm like, because it's just always Bobby Lashley's music when it comes out, all three of them together.
I agree with that.
Right? So I just want them to be like a faction. You know, right now for the last few months they've been, just Bobby Lashley comes out and is always with the Street Profits. I'm looking at your face. You're looking scrunchy. Let's see what you got to say, CJ Carter. You're looking scrunchy.
But I don't know how you can tell I'm looking anything. There we go.
You're doing this.
Well, yeah, but my camera's been out in and out of focus.
Go ahead.
Depending on how I'm sitting. But yeah, like there's nothing wrong with Bobby Lashley coming out with the Street Profits. The problem is it's inconsistent so far. I mean, they started with a kind of a rocky partnership, heel Lashley, face Profits, and then they didn't really become a cohesive unit until they turned the Profits heel. Fast forward to Tribute to the Troops, and then they go on a face run because of, we want you to cheer these guys because they are veterans. Which
but my thing.
No, hang on, let me finish.
Let him cook.
It's not, I'm not saying, like, it's just inconsistent. That's all I'm saying. So now they have to figure out if they're going to continue riding this face run or if they're going to try and turn them back to this well-dressed power trio that is going to go on a massive heel tear. And I don't think they've made that decision yet. So I'm waiting to see what happens. But where they're at right now, going with Final Testament, which, by the way, I like that name as well. But all that promo did, unfortunately for me, was get me invested in everybody except Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I enjoyed AOP when they were in NXT. I think their best presentation in the WWE has been with Paul Ellering in their corner. Props to Drake Maverick, props to Seth Rollins, but they didn't bring out the best in AOP like Paul Ellering did. And for them to have reunited is great. I think that's a fantastic dynamic. Karrion Kross, I'll have to wait and see what he adds to this partnership. But I'm on board solely for AOP and Paul Ellering.
My thing is, I like Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits. I didn't say I don't like that. Check this out. We done got, I would say about 3 versions. We done got 3 versions of Karrion Kross, and we done got 2 versions of AOP, and then we got a version of AOP with Karrion Kross way before we got a faction name and a faction entrance for Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. That's all I want. I want them to be an official faction, not just they come out with the blue beams and it's Bobby Lashley's entrance and the Street Profits behind them. You know, I just make it official. That's it. You know, just make it official. If they could come up with the Final Testament, they did that from last week to this week. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits could get an official faction name and an official faction look, official faction music.
Well, there's nothing saying that that's not their faction name or faction music and faction entrance. Bobby Lashley updated his Twitter to update the stable name, the Pride, and that seems to be the name they're going with. They just haven't addressed it on television yet, but it's coming. So
it don't mean nothing unless it comes out on TV, and I don't know if they're gonna let that one fly.
Yeah, it was a weird choice for them to basically, yes, further this feud that they want to start with Karrion Kross's stable and Bobby Lashley's stable, but they don't have they have just an interruption from Bobby Lashley getting interrupted by Karrion Kross, and then it doesn't really go anywhere. So it feels weird pacing. I don't know.
Nah, we'll see. Only time will tell. All right. Carmelo versus Austin Theory.
Man.
We all see it. We all know what's coming up. Our friends here at Dirt Sheet Radio had a video uploaded, and I tried to download that video before our show started to see if I could put it up there. Man, it was a great match. It was a good match. It was fast, very fast. And for a moment there, I think Carmelo Hayes was like 2 steps ahead of Theory in some spots, especially when he did that around the world, the little Hurricanrana thing. Like, man, he did that fast. Like, and then ended up in the armbar. He did that fast. I was like, whoa, you could have put a mask on him and it could have been Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? Like, that was pretty quick. So I understood how on that Arabian Night suplex off the second in the top rope, that kind of got jammed up because one was going faster than the other, or it kind of looked like one tried to pull. But I hope they're both all right. I hope nobody seriously got hurt. In one replay, it looked like Austin Theory landed on his head, and then Carmelo Hayes kind of landed like on his shoulders, on the back of his neck. But I mean, I couldn't tell who was.
That would look like Theory. It's like the top of his head and all the side of his neck. If you look at it, I looked at it in slow motion. It looked like all of that was hit from top of his head to the side of his neck.
Right. So he landed like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah,
right.
That replay that they showed after it happened really caught it, unfortunately, at the best angle to see exactly how it happened. It's just I wouldn't have aired it on TV.
Nah, me neither.
That was an uncomfortable angle. I was even trying to describe it to my dad. He's a real wrestling fan as well. So I was like, hey, just want to give you a heads up. This match ends with both men injured. If you want to watch the replay, watch the replay, but you might not want to watch the replay. And I just double checked on Twitter. It doesn't see like there is any significant injury updates on either Austin Theory or Carmelo Hayes. But I do want to mention, because since we're talking about injuries, it's being reported that Cora Jade was also injured at an NXT house show. Basically, as we were going on air. So best thoughts to Theory, Hayes, and now Cora Jade too.
Yep.
Now, is this the second week in a row? Wasn't there something last week?
The week before.
The week before.
Giovanni Vinci on Raw last week.
Got kicked in the side of the head.
Mm-hmm.
They threw up the X. I think in the last few weeks, there's been a big microscope just in the whole wrestling world in total, with injuries and stuff like that. So I think they're not taking any chances.
Right.
And I like to see that the referee like took that executive decision to be like real quick, because he was in there real quick, like
fast.
as soon as they hit the mat, my man was in there on his knees, like, what's going on? He was like squeezing for the wrist, like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Y'all good?
Yeah, and absolutely props to the referee for being able to get in there and make the right call. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like it. And man, too bad it was a tough ending. But I mean, I think the match was like scheduled to end right after that move anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at least that's what I think, based upon my experience watching wrestling for so many years. But I mean, I like Carmelo. And
oh yeah. Now, I do want to pose the question, because I know we're going to be talking about it on Tuesday at NXT. I'm sure they'll have an update medically for both these guys by then. But I wonder what the ramifications are going to be for this Ridge Holland storyline. I mean, they're talking about him trying to get away from the stigma of being a guy that injures people. Then he goes and injures, quote unquote, Ilya Dragunov, and now we're seeing a real injury from an in-ring accident play out. What ramification do you guys think, if any, are we going to see for that NXT storyline?
Yeah, because they did mention Carmelo Hayes was scheduled for Tuesday,
right?
Mm-hmm.
In a tag team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
Wait, yes. So it's Trick and Mello with
Trick and Mello versus
Malik and North
yeah.
Right. So your guess is as good as mine. You're the NXT guy, my friend. like I don't know. We got to see what happens. What they say tomorrow. If if he's going to be cleared. Tuesday's right around the corner. But hey, it's Shawn Michaels, baby.
Right. There's always a way around it.
I don't have a problem at all with that, Master Chef.
Right. French kiss right there. I know he got a plan A, B, C, D, all the way to D and X.
Oh yeah.
And, sidebar, CJ. So I was not on board with the whole injury angle with Ridge, but they really sold me. Was it the last segment he did? Was it this past Tuesday or last Tuesday?
Well, they did the backstage segment with Ridge Holland bumping into Joe Coffey, and they had a bit of an exchange, but there wasn't as much reference to the whole injurer of people, unsafe worker angle. So hopefully we don't see the continuation of that, but
because I think it was when he brought up his his twins and then injury after injury. I'm like, I really don't want to root for him, but it's making it hard not to.
Well, yeah, like going for the sympathy angle for
Yeah,
sure.
it's starting to work. You know, as a twin, I'm a twin, so I'm like, oh, I didn't know you had twins, but okay. I said, I think they got me on that one.
Well, this can lead us into right now. It's gonna be and the crowd goes mild. All righty. Oh man, I'll start this one off, guys. And this time it's not gonna be carrying across.
Oh.
It ain't gonna be carrying across. It's gonna be Angel and Humberto. They need to stop that bullshit. They need to stop that. They're better than being up little Santos's butt like puppy dogs. They're better than that. I think so. I think they could do better. I think they could have broke off and been tag team champions a long time ago. And they didn't have to go into the route of the Lotharios and Pepe Le Pewing people in the front row and you know, putting their roses in people's mouths, and they didn't even have to do all that. Their athletic ability alone could have took them to new heights. You know, sometimes you don't need a story. Sometimes the wrestling will back you up. Yeah. And those two guys, they're good athletes, but you know, like, and they're young and they got nice, sexy faces and good bodies and good physiques. But when it comes to like the talking and stuff, they don't have like that you know, je ne sais quoi, the you know, they don't have the, you know, that little missing piece. And the athletic ability could have, you know, carried them a little bit further than, you know, what a story about being, you know, romantic or whatever they were doing in the past. And now they're just, you know, do what Santos says. So for that, they're the jobbers of the day.
No, that's totally fair, man. I decided to go with Pretty Deadly for my jobbers of the night because, I mean, offering your services to
hold on.
and then to find
before
out
you go any further, the perfect shirt
with again
which one?
Wait, CJ,
no, sorry, we didn't mean it. We're gonna back out. Like, what? These, come on. Like, no, go away. You're my jobbers of the night.
Listen, I understand. I'm gonna let you talk, but I just wanted to pinpoint that the ensemble that those two were wearing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Special.
I loved it. I loved it.
My man had the Seinfeld pirate puffy shirt on.
And the fringes. They just make it work. I love Pretty Deadly. I love them.
Absolutely. I can imagine if they wanted to do the maximum male model gimmick in a way that worked, they should have paired Pretty Deadly with Seth Rollins, and then they could just rotate crazy wardrobes every single week and still position themselves as like a decently serious stable.
I actually want that now. I can see it because literally Seth is blowing us away with his outfits, and then of course Pretty Deadly with their outfits and their gear. Like, it works. Like, they would definitely work well together if that were.
If they would have done that instead of Seth Rollins' cult leader, I think that would have just been just over the moon amazing.
Brittany, who is your?
So this is not his fault. They just
it never is
right. It's not his fault, and I'm a fan. I met him at Wale Mania, but I have to give it to Cameron Grimes tonight.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. Good. I really don't know. I think the best option for Cameron is to go back to NXT for a little bit.
Wait, what I miss? Wait, hold on.
So I saw on Twitter I was trying to catch up at the very beginning, and the show opened up with Cameron coming out being attacked by Jimmy and Solo.
Yeah, Grayson Waller made his entrance for their match. They had a video package recapping SmackDown last week, and then they cut to Cameron Grimes getting attacked by Solo and Jimmy Uso, which I gotta give props to their production team. Like, I love seeing that happen where it's like, oh, breaking news, we gotta get out of this video package and jump into the action. I love seeing when that happens. It's a nice little touch every so often, but yeah, that was how SmackDown started off, was Cameron Grimes getting taken out. And yeah, the definitely solid pick for Jobber of the Night.
I missed that one, just flew right past over me. I must have looked down at my note or something. But I looked back up and everybody was in the ring. They're talking. I was like, oh, Heyman's here. Woohoo, yeah, let's go.
And SmackDown usually opens with a promo in the first place, so why would you think anything different?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, that leads us into our the megastar of the night. All right, Brittany, who you got for us?
I am giving it to somebody who has impressed me, which I figured was going to happen since day one. It was announced that he would be showing up, and that's Nick Aldis tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He is not
my megastar. Are you kidding me? I was going to be coming in so impressive, being like, man, Nick Aldis all the way, and you beat me to it. How dare you be so like-minded?
He sounded like me last time.
Listen, he is doing everything that Adam Pearce didn't do. He is not backing down, and to not back down from somebody who has held the title for what? Are we coming up on 5 years? Something like that? Did he win in 19? Yeah, 5 years. August.
Like that, yeah.
If he make it to August, it'll be 5 years since he's had a title on his shoulder. But he literally came in and literally, listen, this is, you may be the head of your table, but I am the head of SmackDown. Mm-hmm. That's not flying. And literally, just going back from last week, since we didn't record, he really showed his hand, saying, all right, since this is how he want to do it, bet. Fatal 4. Simple as that. I love it. Nick, that's the best, probably one of the best things they've done last year was bring him on as the SmackDown General Manager. So that's my megastar tonight.
Oh, I just can't wait till he gets in the ring. But
yes, the Nick versus Roman storyline is going to feed families. I put that on Twitter. I can see it coming. It's going to be good.
Right.
Do you see this getting physical?
I do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, CJ. You want to expand on that? You want to elaborate?
I don't think I had anything prepped that Britt didn't already say, but yeah, no, the fact that Nick Aldis is standing his ground against Roman Reigns, against the Bloodline, against Paul Heyman, and not backing down, not giving them an inch, is refreshing. You know, I think it might actually lend credence to the thought that half the reason Roman Reigns has been able to get away with not defending his title for as long as he has and not actually losing the title could be because Adam Pearce has just been ineffective at managing Roman Reigns and letting him get away with whatever he wants. If Nick Aldis actually puts his foot down and says, no, you're going to start doing defending your title and acting like a champion, who knows? Maybe we'll see that lead to Roman Reigns losing the title.
And what's interesting is if we do get to the point of seeing a Nick Roman feud, I can see it starting off with Roman attacking Nick for something that he booked him in. Storyline, a loss, anything like that, I could just see Roman like looking around. You know how he usually do it, and then just bam, like give him a whole Superman punch, and that's how you start that.
Because I can't imagine Roman's going to take this laying down for very long.
No.
So, yeah, it's got to come down to a physical confrontation. I think, yeah, there's definitely, we're going to see Roman attacking Nick Aldis, and it's got to come to a head from there.
Absolutely.
All right. My pick is going to be, I don't know his name, but that referee that slid in real quick, like, hey, my bad. Well, real quick, ring that bell. Let's get some medical aid out here. I loved it. He was real quick. Far too many times, the ring crew, the officiating crew, the timekeeper crew, the annunciating, the officiating crew, they don't get the props they deserve. And just for that move today, you know, I done seen UFC referees and I done seen boxing referees, and these are non-K-Fab events where somebody's getting rocked like bam, bam. And you know, and I know, and everybody in the millions watching on pay-per-view TV, they know which one is free. And when I say free hits is when their lights are already out and they get the free hit, and then the referee just standing there like a deer in headlights and doesn't do nothing. And that's for a non-K-Fab event. So the fact that in a K-Fab event where an actual injury takes place, my man slid in there like Ryan Sandberg in 1989 on second base, Chicago Wrigley Field. Woo! Real quick. So for that, he gets the megastar of the evening in my book.
And kudos to the medical staff. Like, they've done a really impressive job. And even on commentary, like putting the highlight on making sure our wrestlers are protected, you know, making sure that they're good, getting back to the gorillas safely. So shout out to them for putting the heavy emphasis, because I'm noticing a trend on the protection of the wrestlers in these past 2 or 3 weeks.
Hope it's not a bad sign that none of our megastars of the night are active wrestling talent.
Right. Oh, that's not the case.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we both went with Nick Aldis and Sam went with the referee, so we don't actually have a superstar megastar, but maybe that's to the quality of everyone on Smackdown.
Listen, when you step in the building, the fans, the arena, the superstars, the referee, everybody's a part of the show, in my eye. So, you know, hey, honorable mention to that fan that rolled up. Kimmel's on the list.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine WWE wasn't happy about that one.
He should have got megastar of the night. See, I forgot. I know I had him somewhere marked out.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not going to touch that one. That's just waiting to happen.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. We only had Jared Garrett. Maybe nobody don't care, but hey, Jared Garrett, write us a message to Their Sheet Radio. Give us your address, because you're the only one that was writing comments and questions, right? And we're gonna send you a free WWE pop within 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. Hey, and SmackDown Rewind, we're gonna give away a free pop once every month. All right. So for the year of 2024, 12 WWE pops. All right. We're gonna give one away once every month. Maybe the last show of the month, maybe the first show. I don't know. You guys got to tune in. But Jared Garrett, if you're not a bot, you got to pop.
That's bars,
baby. All right, guys. Hey, let them know where to find you between Saturday and Thursday, Brittany.
All right, make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. That's B Ray Jones, BeeRayJones, and that's also over on Instagram. And I will be the next time you'll see me on another Dirt Sheet Radio spot will be the Royal Rumble recapping that, because I also do pay-per-view recaps as well. And catch me on your favorite marks. We are getting ready to drop a new episode there as well. But yeah, in the meantime, go ahead and follow me on all my handles.
Damn, girl, you so busy. You go, girl. CJ Carter, let them know where to find you.
I'm going to be on the Royal Rumble, Dirt Sheet Radio Rewind as well, but hope not at the Royal Rumble, unfortunately. That'll be from live from within my domicile, as always. CJ Carter 22 on Twitter. I recap Friday Night Smackdown every single week, and I also recap NXT every Tuesday night on Dirt Sheet Radio.
All right. And as always, you can find me on 2KWE, #1 in wrestling game entertainment on X, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, every Friday and Sunday for the best in virtual wrestling. All right. And Jared Garrett, you win the free WWE Pop Right DSR DM with your mailing info, and we'll get that out to you. Congrats. I'm writing this message, guys. All right, guys. From me, Sam Schluter, the straight shooter, and CJ Carter and B Ray Jones, this is the Smackdown Rewind. We'll see you next week. So long, guys.
Good night.
Like, do we push him to the back or what? Because I don't want his hype to die down.
Now you're telling us the next week that they're scum of the earth, and we need you to think.
Everybody gets a moment. Everybody gets their little shine. Everybody